Police say at some point 10 people were living in the back of this U-Haul. You could see blankets and pillows where they could have been sleeping, juice, peanut butter, to even an empty bowl of food. She was standing right here cutting grass in her front lawn when she took a break, sat down on her patio chair, and got shot. Just a few hours ago, crews found the body of Greg Castle right across these waters in the Ross Barnett Reservoir. This is a door she used to get inside. Now, you usually need a security badge to get through it, but poll workers say the door was cracked open. It's very unusual. Deputies say an inmate dropped a rope from one of these windows to the suspects.
16 WAPT's Jennifer Ortega is here with me now. So, Jennifer, they're turning down this money.
Yeah, well, we spoke to the attorney, the family's attorney. They officially turned down the $30,000 from KFC.
Let's bring in Jennifer Ortega, as I'd mentioned. Jennifer, I think a lot of people want to know who raised a stink about this little girl just wanting some mashed potatoes at a KFC.
Deputies say when the woman was pulled over for a traffic stop, she quickly hid the meth in the back seat in her 5-year-old's pants. The luggage of 45 people will load for the last time on Southwest Airlines to Houston. This overgrown grass and trees have covered it, making it a perfect place to stay at night for squatters. With lots of trucks to choose from that the kids can see today, they say the fire truck is their favorite. My favorite have to be these guys. It looks like I'm getting arrested. Gotta go. The show is quickly trending on Twitter. Live in Jackson, Jennifer Ortega, 16 WAPT News.
It looks like they like being on TV, Jennifer. All right.
Police just cleared out a little while ago, but many in the neighborhood still in shock to hear about Helen Herron's murder.
I just can't believe it in a neighborhood like this, somebody would go there and hurt that lady like that. Very pretty lady, mind her own business.
It's scary. It makes me want to move now. It makes me want to move.
Friends and family still in shock about the murder of Helen Herron. Investigators say the 67-year-old surprised a burglar early Tuesday morning.
Well, she did get a chance to call the police. The police came, and no one answered the door.
No one heard from her until Tuesday afternoon when her son found her body.
He decided to come by, and that's when he discovered the blood and the bullet shells. And he went looking for his mother, and sadly, he found her on the side of the house.
It appeared to be some type of struggle that took place inside and ended outside. It appeared to be a house burglary, possible house burglary that took place. So we're still just trying to investigate that and also gather witness statements and collect evidence.
Neighbors we spoke to say she's been living alone for the past 2 years, and someone knew that.
Yeah, that's what they did. They broke in the house. Whoever came in, she shot one, and then somebody else there with them, because they drove the one body at the house, at the window, and they took it in the backyard.
And it's still too early to tell who or how Herron was killed. There are still no suspects. Live in Jackson, Jennifer Ortega, 16 WAPT News.
The doors are bolted, so they couldn't get out of the doors. It's almost like they knew it. Yeah. They had to come straight through the wall.
Nikki Littleton says her gift shop has been on North State Street for 6 years. This is the worst damage she's seen.
I got a call from the neighbors saying, you need to come up here. Somebody's broken your shop. When I get here, I see a huge hole in my wall, and my merchandise is missing.
Littleton says she's missing computers, a cash register, and even a massage table.
They took pretty big merchandise through the wall. I don't even know. I can't even imagine how they got it out of here.
But her business wasn't the only one that got hit. Charles Badlock's T-shirt shop is missing printing equipment and clothes.
This really messed me up because we're a new business in the area, you know, and we're trying to get off the ground, and it's really put a hole in.
Literally a hole in the wall. It seems like the tax office was where it all started. Store owners say they kicked in this air vent, crawled through the hole, and got into 2 other stores after kicking in that door.
I'm thinking they might have came in over there, kicked in the door over here, and crawled through the wall over there.
Thousands of dollars of damage done overnight.
It's sad to see my tenants so badly damaged financially. It's not an inexpensive thing. They probably didn't get enough to cover the damage that they did.
Supporters for the Rainbow Grocery Co-op flooded City Hall Tuesday morning. They say the city needs to be accountable for all this mess.
The place stinks. It's got mold. All this stuff is floating around. You're out of business for a while. It's really hard. It's really hard on all of us.
Rainbow Grocery sits on State Street at one of the lowest parts of Fondren. That means in the worst rainstorms, all the water that runs down the streets ends up running through the building.
The last time we flooded, we did have an employee injured. That was very serious. She was knocked unconscious. Because the water rushed in so quickly.
This problem's been going on for 15 years, and it's time to get something done about it.
See this big yellow building right here? It wasn't there.
Okay. They say the building has flooded nearly 16 times since the city allowed crews to build an art gallery next door, where it blocks an old storm drain. City Councilwoman Margaret Barrett Simone says the city tried to fix the issue years ago.
Every time the city has felt that they've had some solution, it hasn't worked. I know that there was a mistake made years ago.
Employees at Rainbow Co-op say the flooding has been so bad here in the back of the store that sometimes the water comes past their knees. It comes down the street, has nowhere to go. Now they say a solution to this problem would be gutting this whole street right here and building a bigger drainage system to hold all that water.
Yeah. This last flood we had last week wasn't as bad as some of the others, but we were closed for a whole day.
We want to have a deadline of when this project's going to be done. We want to know who's going to do it and how it's going to be done.
Hopefully, with this new administration and some new ideas, we can solve this problem, but it's been ongoing.
In Jackson, Jennifer Ortega, 16 WAPT News. No rain just yet, but the wind is picking up. Now, the Big Black River is just behind these trees, and when it flooded, that water came onto this road right here where I'm standing. Any more flooding, and this road will be covered. Residents are keeping their fingers crossed.
All this water you see is from the river. I mean, the river's right there in the backyard.
Ricky Ladner and his family say they enjoy living on the banks of the Big Black River, but every once in a while they have to deal with the rising waters.
I've been living down here for about 13 years, and every now and then this happens. It gets a little discouraging sometimes because you plant your flowers and stuff.
The Mississippi Department of Transportation says they're on standby right now, monitoring the weather and road conditions.
If there are any floodwaters on any roadways, obviously do not try and drive through those. We want to keep everyone as safe as possible, and the best thing to do is just to avoid any flooded roadways.
The Hinds County EOC says there are no evacuations just yet, but the area is under a flash flood watch.
You can see the river come back up some, maybe 6, 8, 12 inches at a time. So, people just need to be aware tonight that we are under that flash flood watch, and the river could come back up a little bit.
Residents near the river say the last time they remember it being this bad was back in 2003.
Rapids were coming through. You couldn't get in and out. The current was real strong. It would pick your truck up and slide it over. I hope it don't get too bad, because if it picks back up, we'll get stuck all again.
Now, most of the houses out here are on stilts, so they're okay, but the cars aren't. Residents say they've been leaving them at the highest points of the roads. If it floods again, they're saying they'll be using boats to get through it. In Edwards, Jennifer Ortega, 16 WAPT News.